today's video, I'm going to give you a list of over 10 running backs that have unlimited upside in 2025, but none are being drafted inside the top 12 at the position. And the video is going to be based in research from trends last year. All right, I'm using ADP today that's pulled from Sleeper and ESPN drafts. All right, so just 14 of the top 50 running backs drafted last year improved their ADP from 2024 to 2025. That's just 28%. Here's that list on your screen now. It might look like a lot of running backs. Remember, that's only guys in the top 50. Technically, Bucky was top 51. Here are some other notable risers as well, like names like Tracy, Mason, Bigsby, Arindo, and Davis. These handcuffs that had value last year. However, just 9 running backs in general in fantasy football last year did the following 2 things. Number 1, moved up 5 spots in positional ADP. And number 2, moved up 10 spots in overall ADP. Here's that group, all right? So you've got names like Devon Achane, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard, Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby, Isaac Arindo, Ray Davis. All these guys were big skyrockets in ADP from last year to this year. But the question I ask myself is, which names in this group can we really label league winners from last year? And can it help us identify potential league winners this year? To find out, let's filter our research and strictly look at running backs who, number 1, moved up 5 spots in positional ADP. Number 2, moved up 10 spots in overall ADP. And number 3, most importantly, are now being drafted inside the top 20 at their position this season. So that leaves us a pretty good sample size of 4 total running backs. These are our quote unquote league winners from last year. And if you drafted these guys, I mean, you got one hell of a steal in your drafts. Devon Achane went from the RB13 to RB7 in ADP last year to this year. Bucky Irving from the RB51 to the RB9. Chase Brown from the 37 to the 12. Chuba Hubbard from RB43 to 19. I mean, what can we learn from this group? What do they have in common? Because I want to draft as many guys this year that could be on this list next year, okay? So here's what these guys had in common. Number 1, all 4 running backs were aged at 25 years or younger. On average, our league winners, they came out to about 23.3 years old. Number 2, they had in common, our group averaged about 17.8 touches per game. Touches meaning rushing attempts and targets divided by the total amount of games they played, right? Bucky was the only running back who averaged under 17 touches per game. However, he did average about 19 touches per game in the money stretch from week 10 onwards, and he thrived on efficiency. Okay, so they averaged a good amount of touches. They had that in common. Number 3, on average, this group was drafted round 4 or earlier in the NFL draft. Yeah, Chase Brown being the only outlier there in round 5. But on average, these guys were drafted round 4 or earlier. The 4th thing they had in common is none of our running backs were drafted in the top 12 in 2024 in last year's drafts. Otherwise, they likely would have been priced at their ceiling, right? I mean, that makes sense. That's what kind of made them league winners last year. You can see, on average, this group was drafted around RB36 or beyond. Now, Achane clearly brings that ADP up because he was an RB13 last year, but look at the rest of the guys like Bucky and Chase Brown and Chuba. I mean, these guys were true league winners. So, to recap, here is the criteria that we have now found to try and find 2025 running back league winners. This is what we've come up with based off that research. Number 1, we want to find guys that are aged at 25 years or younger. 25, I mean, what if there's a Chuba Hubbard out there? Ideally younger because they can break out, but there's a Chuba Hubbard out there maybe. Number 2, they need to have the upside to average at least 15 touches per game. The higher, the better, obviously, right? But do they have that kind of upside? Number 3, were they selected in round 4 or higher in the NFL draft? Again, round 4 was our average for our league winners last year. And the 4th criteria, they need to be currently being drafted outside the top 12 amongst running backs because we need room for the ascension, right? I mean, we want to draft them way late and then they skyrocket up in value, okay? So this is what we've all been waiting for. The research is now done. Here's the running backs that we want to target. There were 9 running backs that met these thresholds exactly. The first 4 I want to talk about together in one group because I think there's some of the more obvious names. We're looking at names like the Amarian Hamptons, like round 1 pick, and a good offense, right? No Najee Harris. Breece Hall, we know how talented this guy is. It's a contract year. I think he's going to have a lot on his mind to want to prove himself. Ken Walker, new offense over there. It's set to really shine his talents and then James Cook, who had 18 touchdowns last year. These guys are all obvious, right? Okay, but we're going to talk about 5 more running backs here that fit every bit of the criteria, but I wanted to highlight them more in depth. But just before we do, my draft guide, it just released. It is chocked full of sleepers, bust, and fades, and I go into them in depth. It's just version 1. It released this week. You can gain access to it with a 2025 season pass on the Flock Fantasy site. Go to flockfantasy.com/land. If you use my promo code LAND, it's only $34 for the entire year. If you think about that, it's about $1.50 per week until the end of the season right now. And you get season-long access to my rankings, including in-season rankings, all the premium tools on the Flock site, 2 free start sit question vouchers, as well as trade question vouchers. You can ask me questions on my live streams. You get access to 4 of the best draft guides in the industry and the ability to enter Land live community leagues. We're doing a league per week with our members on the Flock site. So check out the link in the pinned comment. But here are the 5 other running backs that fit that criteria. Here's the criteria again on the screen. Here are the 5 guys that we want to dive into detail about, okay? Firstly, let's talk about TreVeyon Henderson. So TreVeyon Henderson is 22 years old. He definitely, in my opinion, has a possibility of averaging over 15 touches per game. Think about it. I really struggle to see how the Patriots keep TreVeyon Henderson off the field further the year goes on, right? I mean, he's already their best rusher. He's already their best receiver. He's already their best big play threat. I think this could be genuinely like discount rookie Jahmyr Gibbs. It's just he didn't go in round 1. But he did go in round 2, so he meets the criteria. And his currently ADP is at RB 24. All right, the second running back that meets all the criteria is RJ Harvey. He's currently 24 years old, drafted round 2, ADP of RB 22. And is 15 plus touches possible for RJ Harvey? In my opinion, 1,000% yes, it is. Dobbins is going to have a role, but he will not stop Harvey from breaking out. Last year, in the first 2 weeks of the season, Dobbins was great. He was incredible. He averaged over 10 yards per carry, 135 yards per game. But that was when Gus Edwards was kind of splitting work with him. The more they gave him work as the season went on from week 3 onwards, he just fell apart. He got some injuries. He averaged under 4 yards per carry, under 60 rushing yards per game. Let's be real for a second. A guy who's had multiple knee injuries, ACLs, an older player at this point. Was he 26 years old? He's not going to stop RJ Harvey from breaking out. All right, the next running back that's eligible with all 4 of the criteria is Caleb Johnson. Hits the draft capital, hits the age, hits the ADP, and man, I think he's so easy to project 15 plus touches for. His main competition is Jaylen Warren on a team that historically has been run heavy. The Steelers have been top 10 in rushing attempts per game each of the last 3 seasons, and with no Najee Harris, there's a huge hole in this backfield. The Steelers are top 3 in vacated rushing attempt share. I mean, Caleb could genuinely have a massive rookie season, and I don't think he's being drafted properly right now. All right, the next running back that fits the list, and this might be more of an opinion, so you might disagree with me here, but Cam Skattebo, I love the guy. All right, I absolutely love the guy. Remember, round 4 this year, 23 years old, RB 33 in ADP. When you talk about projected touches, it's my opinion that he absolutely has the upside of 15 plus touches. This is going to be a personal opinion, though. If you're Team Tyrone Tracy, I get it. Like, I totally get that. But Cam Skattebo was my guy on our Dynasty channel for the 2025 NFL Draft, so I do have a personal bias. I projected him, you can see here in my draft guide, as a first and second down running back with 3 down upside. My pro comps were David Montgomery, Javonte Williams, like pre-knee injury Javonte Williams, and Tyler Algier. And by the way, he was second on our Limits to Lemonade team, which basically finds running backs that do more per touch per carry than other guys. He was only behind Ashton Genty at 0.35 missed tackles forced per attempt. And last week, the first week of training camp, he was already getting first team reps with the New York Giants. So I do think Skattebo is a little bit sneaky. Like, if anyone is this year's Bucky Irving, man, Skattebo kind of fits the bill, guys. He really does. All right. There were 2, we've talked about 9 running backs already that fit the criteria. There are 2 other running backs I really want to dive into before we go to honorable mentions. These 2 running backs, they could fit the criteria, but there are reasons why they currently don't 100%. Like Quinshon Judkins, for example. He has a draft capital. He has the ADP. He has the age. But we don't know what his touches per game will look like because we don't even know what he's going to do with, like, is he going to play this year? Is he going to be on the exempt list? When's it going to get figured out? I mean, he was the easiest running back to project touches for, but that was before his legal troubles. You know, what is it with these NFL players where they get, it's like, hey, you're about to get millions of dollars. Just don't like go on the highway and drive 150 miles per hour or abuse. I mean, like, what are, like, just like, can we please figure this out? But anyway, we have no idea what's going to happen with Judkins now. We have no idea if he's going to miss 6 games more. We don't know, honestly. We don't even know what the case looks like just yet. So if he misses 6 games and you draft him in the 11th, 12th, 13th round, I mean, he could be a difference maker to end the season if you don't have to rely on him. All right, number 2, and I like this guy a lot, Tank Bigsby. So he has draft capital, round 3, has the ADP of RB 47, and has the age at 23 years old. Honestly, I'm low-key a little bit annoyed that everybody's hyping up Bigsby now that training camp has started, because I posted a video talking about my love for him a month ago and not a soul was on board. Y'all were just roasting me in the comment section for being Team Tank Bigsby. All of you guys were like, what are you talking about? You lost me. That's a hot take. You got a little too cute. But meanwhile, last month, Bigsby was my 3rd highest drafted player in the Rabbit tournament on FastDraft. But in short, the reason I've been in on Tank Bigsby is not because of training camp reports. It's because Liam Cohen rewarded 3 things in Tampa Bay. He rewarded efficiency, play extending, and explosiveness. And we saw that all last year, right? Bucky Irving was superior in all of those areas. You can pause the screen and look for yourself. And last year in Jacksonville, Tank Bigsby was the better running back in all those areas. Efficiency, play extending, explosiveness. Again, you can pause the screen here. Tank Bigsby was by far better in all of those areas. And yes, Etienne was dealing with an injury. So was Tank Bigsby. They were both behind the same terrible offensive line, and Tank Bigsby was by far better. All right, so I just gave you 11 running backs that I think could be potential league winners this year, but I thought I want to go the extra mile for these people. All right, so let's talk about 10 handcuffs that might need injuries, to get opportunities, but if injuries happen, they could win leagues. All of these guys meet the age, draft capital, and ADP criteria of this video. But for all of them, I just can't rationalize projecting 15 plus touches for them. So here are the highest upside handcuffs that you can roster. Names like Trey Benson if James Conner goes down. Tajay Spears might have standalone value. Charbonnet if Ken Walker goes down. Same thing with Isaac Correndo, Ray Davis. Dylan Sampson might have standalone value if Judkins is suspended. Braylon Allen could have a bigger role this year. Jalen Wright could have a bigger role this year. Rashawn Johnson, he might be the Jamal Williams for Ben Johnson in Chicago. We've seen that, Ben Johnson do that in Detroit, and Bashil Tootin also would qualify if there's an injury ahead of him. So those are some guys at the end of your draft you can consider adding as, these insurance policies, if you will. But when I go into a best ball draft, I want to go crazy upside in these best ball drafts. I mean, my latest best ball draft, I took Amarion Hampton, RJ Harvey, and Campus Kadaboo all on the same team, 3 running backs in the same exact team. I'm personally drafting over on FastDraft in the Rabbit tournament, 15 round, 1 quarterback, start 8 format. The Rabbit tourney, the first one already filled. It was a $20 entry. This next one is just a $10 entry. Same $50,000 prize pool though. It's a 20-second clock, so drafts go pretty quick. FastDraft and best ball, it's not meant to replace your home leagues. It's meant to basically be practice for your home leagues. There's no in-season commitment with best ball. You draft and you don't manage the team at all. It just helps you get ready for the season. And if you love drafting, you don't want to wait for your home league to draft. I'm not waiting. I'm drafting over on the FastDraft app. You can draft with me. Download the FastDraft app. Use the promo code LAND. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That's about 5 free Rabbit tournaments on us. DM me if you sign up. I'd love to add you to my group chat where we're drafting together all off season. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. Drop a like, subscribe if you like the content. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And you're going to learn a little bit more about FastDraft here, but enjoy the rest of your day. Draft with me every night this offseason on the FastDraft app, where there are over $250,000 in prizes waiting to be won. Getting started is easy. Download the FastDraft app, use the promo code LAND at signup to get your deposit match up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. And when you finish your first real money contest, I'll send you my 2025 rookie report and season rankings completely free. Check out the link in the pinned comment to start drafting today.